Hello, audience. My name is Dawson. His name is Justin.
Hello.
And welcome to episode 12 of our first annual Spooktacular. Today's choice is Justin's, and we kind of already know what it is, but Justin, what are we going to be watching today?
If you've seen my past choices, it's fairly obvious what today is. Just to finish out the quadrilogy, or whatever the fuck that's called, finish up the series, we're watching Scream 4. Just to finish it.
Alright.
So let's get right on into it. And we're back. So we just finished Scream 4, and synopsis is 10 years have passed, and Sidney Prescott, who has put herself back together thanks in part to her writing, is visited by the ghost-faced killer. So, right off the bat, I want to say, this movie came out at a time where they were remaking basically every other franchise. Like they remade Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween. So this movie was basically Scream 4 taking a crack at a remake and yet like another in the series,
Sure.
and I think it worked. I think it's at least a hell of a lot better than the remakes of Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween. Haven't seen Friday the 13th, but I'm pretty sure
Well,
it'll probably be the
it's not
same.
even a remake. I mean, you can't call it a remake. It's just a revisiting.
Yeah,
It like we watched the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. That was a remake.
yeah.
That this is not a remake. So I can't agree with you on that. That's a strong remake. It's
I
not.
wasn't saying it was a strong remake. I was saying like I was saying like it was a a sequel that was making like a nod to the remakes that are happening at the same time. That's what
When
I
they
was
do that.
meaning.
When did they do that?
Um, in the movie they mentioned like something about like Hollywood is its current thing is remaking like horror movies,
Oh yeah.
and then at the end they say like remakes
Don't
never
mess with
hold a
the
candle to the
originals.
original.
Yeah, they said don't mess with the originals.
Yeah, so this was a
It's
nod at like Hollywood's trend of remaking horror movies.
or just any movie in general.
I mean, what came out around the same time of Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween and all those, I think it was kind of intentional.
Hmm.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street was 2010. Uh, what was yours? Halloween remake. That was 2007, I believe. So yeah, it was like after Hollywood was like, you know what, these movies haven't been visited in a while, so let's try them again. And they ultimately all failed pretty badly. But and I think that's kind of part to they didn't have the original directors on board, and yet this movie did. So I feel like that's why this I feel like it worked out better than the remakes that happened.
So what'd you think of it? I mean, besides talking about remakes, what'd you think of
Um,
the actual movie?
I thought it was actually a pretty good movie. I It's definitely not strongest the franchise. But I would say it's my second favorite. I think I think the original is still probably the best, but I think this is a pretty strong movie still though.
Sure.
I like the beginning where it's like they show like the few stab movies that came out since the last time we've seen this franchise.
And they're on Stab 6 now.
That's step 7.
Oh, is Stab 7?
Yeah, it was like the beginning was the beginning of one of the
Oh,
movies
yeah.
that led into the beginning of another movie that led into the beginning of this movie.
Sure,
And I
yeah.
thought that was kind of funny.
Mm.
This one is definitely a hell of a lot gorier. It feels like the blood effects seem a bit more gory than in the previous movies, but those were also last Scream 3 was about 10 years before this one.
It was in 2000.
Yeah,
This
so
this they say it's been 10 years later. Technically, it's been 11 years later since it came out in 2011, but yeah,
close
it's
enough.
been over a decade.
Yeah, so effects have gotten better since then. So the blood seemed more gory. And one chick literally had a pile of intestines hanging out of her. Chick that was on the bed toward the
Yeah.
beginning of the movie. But overall, I thought this was a fairly strong movie. I liked like how they basically made it one for one with the original, and then kept going with it after they had the party scene.
Mm.
And like the two characters are almost like Randy, yet not, like the two cinema boys.
Yeah.
I thought the twist ending was a pretty good twist actually. Like I didn't see it coming. Like the first one was kind of obvious though with the boyfriend. But this one I actually thought this was a pretty good twist.
Mm.
Um, I want to hear what you have to say, and if you're going to turn this movie a new one.
It is better than Scream 3. I enjoyed it more than that one. I think Scream 3 was just not that good of a movie. This one was better. I like I said, this with the Scream 3 uh, review. I'm just kind of getting tired of the formula.
Mm-hmm.
Because each movie they say that they're going to do different things with it, but it still feels like the same exact movie playing out every time, and it's just getting boring. I like the characters still. I mean, I like Dewey, I like Sid, I like Gail. Though Gail, you've had too much work. Courtney Cox, stop with all the injections in your face. You look great. Just you look like a plastic doll in this movie. Um, it was good seeing Sid back. I mean, I'm sure if we were into these movies from 2000, 2011, 10 years not seeing these characters, I bet it was good to see the characters again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I called it. I called in my head. I was like, the cousin is going to be the killer, and also the long-haired Macaulay Culkin's brother is going to be the killer. And fuck, who was the killers? They were the killers. And I was like, oh, yep, knew it. Um, but Macaulay Culkin's brother, we saw him in Signs, and now he's back in this movie. I think he's a good actor. He should be in more stuff. He's good with that kind of psychological stuff. And I thought that was good. I didn't laugh at all during this movie. I never got like a nose exhale
Mm-hmm.
like I've got with the other movies, because I mean they're basically the laughs that they tried to do in this movie are the exact same laughs they tried to do in the other movies, just telling you movie tropes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of over it. I mean, I know the movie tropes now, and you don't have to keep on telling the audience what they are. I mean, we kind of know by now. We're 4 movies in. One thing I did really like is that Anthony Anderson's in this movie. He plays the cop. He's the Kangaroo Jack. You know him, Anthony Anderson. He's the one that gets stabbed in the head.
Oh, okay.
In the movie, he's Officer Perkins, Anthony Perkins, and Anthony Perkins plays Norman Bates in Psycho.
Mm.
So it was a nod to the Psycho movies of Norman Bates by naming him Anthony Perkins, the actor who plays him, which I thought was cool. When I heard that, I was like, oh my god, they just did that. Cool, I like that. I don't know if there's any other horror movie nods in this movie besides that one. I mean, they kind of just say random movies. There's one girl who I thought was cool. She was in Heroes. I have her name on the tip of my tongue. She's the blonde girl. She played Kirby.
Mm.
I thought she was cool. But overall, I mean, I knew they were all going to get out unscathed. Though there's a few moments there I thought that Sid might actually die, which that would have probably upsetted me, because her cousin, who's played by not Emma Roberts. Is her name Emma Roberts?
It's Emma
No.
Roberts, yeah.
It is Emma Roberts. She was just a whiny, prissy fucking girl through the entire movie, and I'm glad she's dead. She played the thing well. She was just I didn't like her, but overall it was better than the third one. But I'm just getting tired of the same old formula.
Probably doesn't help that we watched him back to back to back to back.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain movies that the formula works for them, and that it works, over and over again. But with these horror movies, I don't think they do.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, maybe we'll get another one. With the passing of Wes Craven, maybe somebody else will take over, take the helm, and do it again, depending on if they even want to do it again. Because, as we said, Courtney Cox and the guy who plays Dewey,
David Arquette.
yeah, they were married and now they're divorced. So was it a messy divorce? Do they want to work again? We don't know. But
I was going to say that David Arquette looks pretty much the same throughout all the films. Like, you can see him age somewhat, but he looks pretty similar, like, throughout.
Yeah, he does. I mean, throughout, all three, at least the three main cast members are likable throughout.
Mm-hmm.
Though Courtney Cox wasn't in this one much, maybe she was off doing something else, other filming. She was kind of in and out. She was probably collectively in the movie for about, like 6-7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But they might do it again. They might not. Will I go see the fifth one? Probably, but
if there's a fifth one.
You never know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
Yeah. So ratings then.
Sure.
As per usual, I'll go first. And I think this film is deserving of a 7.5. What do you give it?
Do you know what I've given the other ones?
Start with a 7, then a 6, then a 5.
I'll give this one. I'll give this one a 5.8.
So, never mind.
It is better. I mean, it is better. It's 8. It's
0.8 better.
0.8 better.
Would you recommend it?
Like we said, the third one. If you're gonna sit down and watch them, watch them all, I guess.
That's pretty much my thoughts too. I mean, you can watch the first one and be fine, but for me, I like just finishing things. So I'd recommend it too. That's pretty much it for us. Any final words?
Goodbye, Ghostface.
So, like I said, printed it for us. Join us tomorrow for another Spooktacular movie. It's Dawson's choice. And so we might lighten things up a little bit with another animated flick or whatever he wants to choose. But until then, guys, we'll see you later.